For those of you who don't know me, I'm Julie Chobdee. I'm the Wellness Program Coordinator here at UC Riverside for faculty and staff. And I started about a year and a half ago. Prior to coming to UC Riverside, I was the Wellness Program Manager for Johnson & Johnson. I received my bachelor's degree and master's in public health at UCLA, so I'm one of your fellow UC Bruins. And I also am a group fitness instructor with ACE and also have a professional designation in human resources. So I want to make this interactive and fun since there's a small group, and I welcome any questions and comments throughout the sessions. Any jokes you want to crack if you'd like, Sheila. So to incentivize you to speak, what we're going to be doing is every time you share something, you'll be given a raffle ticket. So obviously the more times you share and contribute, the more raffle tickets you'll get, the more chances you'll have to win. And I have my lovely assistant, Marilyn Parker, and my intern, Aaron Zern, who'll be going around and giving out raffle tickets. So the more you share, the better. All right. Well, I have a question for the group. How many of you have made an adjustment to your eating or your exercise as a result of the economic downturn? Any changes? And were they changes for the better? For the worse? Okay, yeah. Now, do you find it challenging to eat healthy and exercise during these tough economic times? Yeah, it can be challenging. Well, I hope that you'll leave today with at least one, if not more, tips on what you can do to incorporate some healthy eating and exercise on a budget tips into your daily lives. The PowerPoint that I'll be presenting is right at your desk. You can follow along because I'm not going to read every single word. I'll just briefly go through the slides. You're welcome to take notes. And there's a worksheet that you also have that I recommend that you use to set goals. So if you hear something today that I share or someone shares and you think, oh my God, that's something I want to do, write it down. It's for your own use. I'm not going to collect it. I'll also be posting the PowerPoint on our wellness website at the very end of today's session. So you can download it, send it to a friend, whatever you want to do. You're welcome to share that presentation. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. The first step to anything you do is planning and budgeting. So you want to think about how much can you spend on food each week or each month for yourself and your family. So as you do your budget, think about, okay, what is the dollar amount I can spend? And create a list. You want to create a shopping list before you actually go shopping. And think about what exactly do you need to buy. As you're doing so, think about what is already in your pantry, in your freezer, in your refrigerator that you can use already before it spoils, or that you can actually make a different meal with or use for a certain ingredient. So think about what you already have in stock. Now use coupons only if they make sense. A lot of times coupons will require that you buy 2 of something, or a larger size, or a different brand. And if it's something that you don't really want or need, forget the coupon. Check for weekly specials and ads at your local grocery stores. And as you're planning your list, think about how much time you can invest in any prep work. So if you can cut your own broccoli, cut your own carrots, peel your own onions, why not do that? And you can save money versus buying the kind that are pre-washed, pre-cut, and pre-bagged. So just some things to think about before you actually head out to the grocery store. Step 1 is the planning. Step 2, navigating the grocery store. Once you enter the grocery store, shop around the perimeter. That's where all the fresh produce are, the meats, the dairies, the fruits and vegetables. If you notice, in the center of the grocery stores, that's where all the more processed items are. So you want to shop the perimeter of the store and use the unit prices for comparison. Most times, grocery stores will have on the shelves the unit price. You can see how much the food item costs per ounce. So if you're looking at different sizes or different brands and you're not sure which is the better bargain, look at the cost per ounce, and that way you'll know what's the least expensive item. Choose generic whenever possible. Generic tastes just as good sometimes as the brand. And when you're looking for an item, check high and check low. Look on the top shelves, look on the bottom shelves. Oftentimes manufacturers will pay a premium price to put their particular product right there at eye level. And of course, those products are more expensive, so look high and look low. Watch for mistakes. Check your receipt before you leave the store. Sometimes you'll notice that you've been double charged or charged more for something when it should have been on sale. And make sure all of your groceries actually go from the register into your cart and into your car. Don't leave bags behind. That can happen sometimes, especially with really heavy items. So make sure you have all of your items with you. If you're looking to buy an ethnic brand or an ethnic item, look at one of the grocery stores that sells maybe a Asian grocery store or one of the ethnic grocery stores or food aisles. You might be able to find something cheaper there. And then finally, ask questions for promotions. When you see something that says 5 for $5, do you really need 5 of something? Or can you ask, okay, can I just get 1 of the item and pay $1? So those are just some ways you can navigate the grocery store. Also, you want to steer clear of junk food. You want to spend your hard-earned dollars on food that really fuel your body and that will not add unnecessary calories or sugar or salt to your diet. So really think about what you're purchasing and where you're going to spend your money. Hop over to the bakery if you're looking to buy baked goods. Oftentimes your grocery store's bakery will have fresher items that are less expensive than the ones that are commercially packaged and prepackaged. And then finally, be smart about organics. Organics usually mean more expensive. So if you really absolutely don't have to purchase organic, there's really no need to. There is no difference in the nutrient value. It's just more about the way it's harvested, produced, and transported, and so forth. Oftentimes, if you're looking to buy fruits and vegetables, the kind that have a rind or a skin around it are usually safer. So, for example, peaches, strawberries, and peppers don't have an outer covering. So if you really want to go organic, those are some fruits and vegetables to consider going organic. Otherwise, if you're looking at like a banana or an orange, you're fine going regular and saving the money. Alvin, question?
What are the difference between the organic meal and non-organic meal? Because what I've heard is the organic. The
What is
organic meal is more, it's better for the kids.
It's the environment. It's the way it's grown, transported. There's less pesticides, less hormones in it. It's the chemicals versus organic means they're free of all the chemicals and the way it's made and the pesticides and the hormones and the antibiotics, all those things are safer. What was that?
Preservatives.
Preservatives, exactly. So organic is natural, preservative free. Yeah.
Like even in beauty products,
Mhm.
some of them have like certain things that are not in there
Right.
that may cause morality.
Yep. Okay. Sure, yeah, I think that deserves a raffle ticket for the two of them. Yeah, question.
I just wanted to share something. One
Sure.
of our environmental toxicology faculty members has done research on strawberries, and they found when you wash them twice and you cut off the green, most of the pesticides stay in the leaves. So if you wash the strawberries twice and cut off the leaves, there's hardly any
We don't like to eat leaves anyways.
minimal pesticides left after that. So they didn't find a big difference. Yeah, most of the pesticides stay in
In the leaves.
Luckily,
Yeah.
we don't eat those usually, do we?
Yeah,
No.
usually we'll eat those, yeah.
Just checking if you guys
So I
have
thought that was
strawberries.
really interesting.
Yeah, thanks for sharing that. So you wash it twice, cut off
Cut off the leaves.
Yeah, good to know. Because sometimes we just grab a strawberry, we just put it in our mouths and kind of
Oh,
pull
no.
it out and, yeah. Not good. Good, thanks for sharing, thank you.
Julie, on one of your other workshops also, I forget the speaker's name, but she was saying if you're gonna buy organic, also milk is the one thing you should look for. If you're gonna spend your money on organic.
Or what?
Organic milk, yeah.
Just the way
If
it's
you're gonna spend your money on something organic.
made.
Yeah.
Yeah, milk.
Definitely, healthy choice. Yeah.
Exactly. Good, thanks for sharing. Also think about making smart substitutions. So if there's something you really like, say, moving on from the organics, smart substitutions, if you really like breakfast cereal, and breakfast cereal can be expensive. You know, they're in these nice packaged boxes. They can cost $4 to $5. Why not think about oatmeal? Oatmeal is just as nutritious. It's a whole grain. It's very inexpensive. You can buy a whole tub of oatmeal, get tons of servings out of oatmeal, and have a very quick, instant, healthy breakfast. So just kind of think about, am I eating chips that are expensive and I can switch over to popcorn? Just think about the healthier substitutions. And whole is always best. You know, the less processed a food is, the cheaper it is. So an apple is cheaper than applesauce. You know, canned black beans is cheaper than refried beans. So whole is the key. Okay. Now we're going to focus on each of the different food groups, and this is where you can kind of share some of your tips that may not be listed on the board. For fruits and vegetables, buying bagged is cheaper than buying per piece. So when you're considering apples and oranges, buy them in bulk. Unless you're not going to finish it, you know, you might want to share them in the bags, but it's a lot less expensive. Buying in season is fresher and cheaper. And also consider canned and frozen. They're just as fresh as the fresh counterparts because they're canned or they're frozen right at the peak of their freshness, so all the nutrients are retained. And they also last longer. So if you're one of those that buy fresh produce and they go to waste quickly, consider buying canned vegetables, maybe some frozen berries. Berries are really good to freeze. If you buy raspberries and strawberries and see that they're not lasting very long, consider freezing them. When you're buying frozen and canned, look for ones that are low sodium and packaged in water or juice. You want to avoid the sugary, heavy syrups. And avoid buying bagged and washed lettuce, carrots, and cabbage, as we mentioned earlier. It's going to cost you more. You might as well buy the whole head of lettuce, the bag of carrots, and wash it and dice it and slice it yourself. So it does take time, but it does save you money. Anyone have anything to share, Kathy?
Yeah, I don't know, I don't have the link in my head, but there's a fruit co-op in the Redlands area and in the hills that go up the Cherry Valley and stuff. And they have a fruit co-op where you can buy into the co-op and then you get a bag of fresh fruit every week.
Oh, wow.
And the restaurant up at Kenny Crest is one of the drop spots. So you can go up and pick up your bag actually at Jam and Bread. So that's something to look into. If you search co-op fruit, it's mostly orange growers, I think, that do it.
Okay.
But you get a bag of fruit, you buy it, I think it's like $60, and then you get a bag of fruit for every month for a year or something. And so it's fairly economical, but the main thing is you know you get it from the grower pretty fresh. It's not.
It's good to
sent
know.
across the country.
It's good to know. Thanks for sharing that. We'll look that up. We'll see if we can locate that and share it with the group. Yes.
I find that Costco is a good place to buy fruit. It's usually good quality, good bulk, and the price is pretty good.
Costco.
Yeah, Costco is great.
Good to know. Yeah. Becky?
You know, I got really fast away from the bagged lettuce because whenever I open the bag, it always smelled moldy.
Yeah.
So, you know, I don't know, to me it was a sign it's not fresh.
Yeah.
So
You wonder about
I
those
don't-
bag lettuces.
Yeah.
Sheila.
You can also, like with your coworkers and all, if you have gardens and vegetables and trees, you can swap fruits and stuff that way too. Lemons, we put tomatoes, things of that nature. It's a nice economical way. Plus they have to prune the trees anyway half the time. And lots of them just give them to you free, because they're trying to get rid of them.
That's true. Yeah. You have neighbors and coworkers that can donate some fruit to you. That's a good way to get some free lemons.
Talking about starting at the whole stage, like for me, I'll cook a roast chicken and then because it's at the whole stage, it's cheaper that way. Then I get a big one and then the leftover chicken already cooked, I'll use some chicken tortilla soup and then save a few chunks to throw in some teriyaki rice for lunch or something. And so rather than buying chicken breasts that are skinless, boneless, using it for that, you want to use it from the whole stage and make more. And that stretches your dollar quite a bit. You do have to have the optimism to cook, but yet that chicken's already cooked, and that's the majority of the time consuming part.
Right.
Don't you
Good.
think so? You can use it several more times and add just some basic things to it.
Exactly. Good.
Talking about eating the vegetables.
Yes.
I plant vegetables in my yard.
You plant your own?
Yeah, maybe that saves your money, but
Yeah.
pay attention that if you buy those vegetables in a pot, it looks like it's more expensive rather than growing them from the seed.
Yeah, plant your own garden. That's to be one of the tips that we share here. So lots of good ideas that you all shared for fruits and vegetables, and hopefully some new tips learned today and new resources shared. Thank you for those of you with the resources. Moving on to whole grains and carbohydrates. Okay, oatmeal, as I mentioned, is nutritious and economical. Consider buying day-old bagels and breads. Any of you do that? Some day-olds, they're good value and they're still fresh. I mean, they're not bad. That's a really good way to save. A lot of times a dozen bagels can be 2/3 off if you buy it day-old. A lot of bagel shops will do that in bakeries. We mentioned the cereals and grains, buying them in bulk and packaging them yourself. For those of you who don't like whole wheat pasta or brown rice, it is more expensive, but it's healthier, and a good way to kind of wean yourself to getting used to the taste is to mix. Maybe mixing brown rice with white rice together, or mixing whole wheat pasta with white pasta together. And that way you get used to the taste, and you also save some money. Okay. Anything to share here on carbs? Yes, back there.
I purchased the Ezekiel bread, the sprouted bread, and I throw it in the freezer so it lasts longer, and just put it in the toaster.
Good. So you keep it in the freezer so it lasts longer? Just
Because it's so, I don't really use it often, and so it doesn't go bad quick. Whenever I need one, I just grab a slice and throw it in the toaster. So
good.
it tastes as good.
Good. Thanks for sharing. And for those of you who came in late, if you haven't noticed, every time you share, you get a raffle ticket. So just wanted to mention that. Now everyone's going to share. Becky.
I use multi-grain pasta, and there's no difference with regular white pasta. Tastes the same, but it's healthier. And omega-3.
Michelle?
You can buy, like if you're not a big brown rice fan and you want to substitute a good carbohydrate, you can get quinoa in bulk at like Winco.
Yes.
And it's really, really cheap and it's good. And you can make it like a salad, you can make it as a meal, like warm, cold, whatever.
What is it?
Quinoa,
Quinoa.
it's Q-U-I-N-O-A. And you can buy it in bulk at Winco, like you can just put up however much you want in the bag. And it's really, really good and healthy for you.
It's delicious. It's like cooking, say, a rice or couscous. And it's a grain, but it's a complete protein. So you get all of your protein just in that grain. So it's a very good quinoa with a Q.
So it's a whole grain.
$2.11 at Winco.
Very
for a
cheap.
pound.
Very cheap. Quinoa. Okay, let's move on to protein. Now, a way to save is to buy less prepared protein. You can marinate it, debone it, de-skin it yourself. There's no need to buy pre-cut, pre-marinated chicken or beef. You want to consider replacing meat with less expensive protein sources, such as eggs and beans. You can still get your protein needs, but it's a lot less expensive than having to buy meat if you stick with eggs and beans a few times a week. Or even consider going meatless a couple of times a week and just going vegetarian. When you're cooking foods that require a lot of ingredients, say stews or casseroles or enchiladas, consider using canned fish and canned chicken. You really don't need to get the actual, whole chicken, or as Wendy mentioned, if you have a whole chicken, just start tearing slices from the chicken and using it in the different meals that you're going to be making. And also the main part of these meals don't have to be the meat. For your stews, your casseroles, you can actually stretch your food dollars by adding more vegetables, more rice, and more potatoes. So just some ideas there on protein. Moving on to milk and dairy. Use dried milk powder for recipes and save the fluid liquid milks for actual drinking. That's a way to save money. Buy block cheese and shred it yourself. There's no need to buy pre-shredded cheese. Saves you money right there. And also with yogurt. A lot of times you buy those little single serving containers of yogurt with fruit in it, and they actually have a lot of artificial sugars. You're better off buying a larger plain or vanilla yogurt and adding your own fresh fruit. It does take a little bit of preparation, but it's cheaper, more economical, and healthier for you. Okay, any other questions on that? All right, just some other general tips on healthy eating on a dime. Bring your lunch to work, and we all know it's cheaper, it's healthier, and it's quicker. Bring your lunch to work, keep it in your fridge. Buy a filter, and that way you can drink tap water and save the environment and save money on buying bottled water. Make your own coffee. You can save about $1,500 a year if you cut out those daily coffee runs. Maybe even more if you go to Starbucks and buy those fancy lattes, right? So So
saving money.
think about how much that adds up in terms of saving money. If there's one thing you can cut out, that might be your daily coffee runs. Buy healthy snacks in bulk, and you can bag them in little baggies yourself. It's a great way to save money, and also portion control. You can actually count out, okay, how many servings or how many pretzels is 100 calories, and bag it yourself. Put it in a little Ziploc bag. Stock up on non-perishables. If you see things go on sale, like say soup or granola bars, and they're on sale, it's a great bargain, why not stock up? They'll last you a while, and it's on sale. And make more. When you're cooking, make extras. That way you can freeze it, use it later for leftovers, or bring it to lunch the next day. Reduce your portion sizes. You'll eat less and also pay less. Share your meals, share your desserts, maybe get an appetizer, and really think about limiting yourself when you are dining out. If you are going to go out for fast food, just really look at the selections you make. I think right now with the economy, a lot of restaurants are cutting back on their portion sizes, which in a way is helpful to us. But then again, you still have some other restaurants that don't care and still serve a huge, huge amount of food. And just some creative ways that you can get some more fruits and vegetables. As Elvin mentioned, grow your own garden. That way you're incorporating physical activity as well as investing a small amount of money in seeds and getting a huge amount of produce. You can start your own lunch club at work, maybe share recipes with a group of people in your department, and maybe even share cooking duties. So you share recipes, maybe you rotate on who brings food for your lunch club. And visit your local farmer's market. Hey, Heidi. That's where you'll get fresh local produce and also support the local farmers as well. And then finally, do it yourself. If there's something that you're absolutely craving, like say a brownie, and you really want a brownie, but you don't want to pay for the ingredients, or you don't want to pay for a brownie that's going to cost you 500 calories, make it yourself. Do it yourself and buy less expensive ingredients. Maybe go for less sugar, maybe substitute applesauce instead of oil, look at egg whites instead of using the whole egg. So you can be creative, and you can think about different ways that you can actually still eat healthy on a budget. Now I'd like to open it up. This is where the group sharing part comes in again. Questions or anything you want to share?
No, I was just going to say, the planting your own garden is not necessarily should be fruit and vegetables. If you do it for herbs, especially I planted like my own basil and mint and thyme and rosemary, it's a lot cheaper because I used to pay, $3.99 for that itty bitty fresh packet staters of basil, whereas I paid $2.99. My basil plant's huge and I have it year round. So, little things like that, those herbs do add up.
That's good. Thanks for sharing that. I also mentioned earlier too that you can buy cereal or grains in bulk and then pre-package them yourself into little containers. You can do that with herbs too. Did you know that those little herb things can cost a lot of money? And you can go out to a store and plant your own, or go to a store and just pre-portion them out yourself. So eating healthy does take some work. It does take some investment in your time and preparation. But I think the end result is it does pay off. And during these economic times, you can still eat healthy. There's really no excuse to not eat healthy with the challenges going on today. Anyone else have anything to share around healthy eating before we transition to the Get Fit section? Wendy?
I was going to say, those of you who have the coffee habit, Starbucks as well as down at the Rocker and all those other places, the $4 serving thing. If you use some of those creamers, they have some sugar-free as well as fat-free, and kind of alter them with a little milk. They even have a frother, and if you do that, it thickens it up, because you're saving a lot of calories, because I don't care what skinny latte you get at Starbucks, it's still going to have more than you really want to bargain for at that point, as well as money.
Yeah.
Money, I drink my coffee in the morning, and I do that, a little fat-free hazelnut and a little bit of fat-free milk. So, and then I don't have any more. I've had my treat for the day, and
Right.
included in this breakfast calories. But I mean, with something healthy as well. So
Good. Thanks for sharing. Okay. Well, there are a lot of good tips and strategies shared today around healthy eating on a budget. So I hope that there's at least one, if not more, tips that you can take back with you and start practicing. And I encourage you, as you come up with more resources, more ideas, to please share with this group. So now I'd like to transition over to getting fit for less. Has any of you recently with the current economy maybe canceled your gym membership or stopped exercising because of the economy? Kim?
Canceled my membership.
Canceled your gym membership. Heidi?
Me too.
You did too, okay. Now, for those of you who cancel your membership, are you still exercising or finding different ways to fit the activity in?
I'm actually just exercising at home,
At home.
videos or going on walks at Mount River or whatever.
Walks, good. Okay. Well, just to give you, industry guidelines recommends that all adults exercise at least 3 to 5 days a week. Now, 3 days a week, 20 minutes if you're doing vigorous activity. And when I say vigorous, that's when you're sweating, your heart rate's up, your heart's pumping. It's almost like you're running to catch a bus. So 3 days a week, 20 minutes of vigorous activity. Or 5 days a week, 30 minutes of moderate activity. And that's when you can carry on a conversation, but you're still huffing and puffing, you're moving, you're burning calories. And you also want to consider strength training 2 to 3 days a week on non-consecutive days, working at least 8 to 10 of the major muscle groups, which I'll show you today. So stretching is important as well as the strength training and the cardiovascular activity. And you always want to make sure that you warm up and you also cool down and stretch at the very end of your session. Okay. Now I'm going to focus first on cardiovascular activity. Cardiovascular activity is very, very easy to do. It's free. It can be done anytime, anywhere, with little preparation and little to no equipment. And cardiovascular activity is very effective in calorie burning. You can walk. Walking can be done anywhere you like. And for those of you who want to increase the intensity, you can incorporate jogging and running as well into your mix. So as you progress from walking, you can build in intervals of jogging and running. If you're not a walker or runner or jogger, you can also consider swimming. Oftentimes your local community centers might have pools that you can use for free, and swimming is a great calorie burning exercise. Dancing really doesn't cost you much. You can dance, and there's a very good social aspect to dancing. It can be a lot of fun. And just adding more steps in your day, looking at where you can park further, maybe going for a walk around the mall before you actually shop, and adding more steps during work. And I'll show you how to do that in a few slides. And then finally, taking advantage of the great outdoors we have here in Southern California, going for a hike, going to the park. We have such wonderful weather, and down here in Riverside, I know there's a lot of trails, a lot of mountains. So there's really no excuse for you not to get any cardiovascular activity in during these economic times. These are all things you can do easily and for free. And exercise is also a great way for you to combat the stress. You know, the stress really has a negative effect on your body and your physical well-being. So as you're stressed out from all the things going on with the economy, with the furloughs, with layoffs, exercise is a great way to really arm yourself and build up your response, immune system and response. Sheila?
Another really fairly economical one that's good for you is jumping rope.
Yes.
I do that a lot.
Jumping rope is not easy to do. It is a great workout. And if you can do 10 minutes of jumping rope, yeah.
Get tired of it.
Yes.
Say one thing on
Jump
that.
rope. Wendy?
People wash your cars yourself. Yeah. Cheaper. And get down there and do those tires and rims. I'm telling you, I think there's a list on the Walk Fit
Uh-huh.
that says some of the calories
Uh-huh.
that you burn doing activities or such thing. And I've never been to a car wash. I've never. I just don't believe it. I think I should get to exercise.
Good for you.
And, we don't live
Yeah.
in, we don't live in, Maine.
Right?
If you need your car washed and it's not raining, it's
Do-
nice enough weather to get out there and do it, and you burn like a few hundred calories to boot.
Mm-hmm.
Go on, now everybody's laughing at this, but you catch me out there, and you do it fast, because you don't want to be out there all day.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So you do it fast, believe me, it's vigorous.
Yeah.
Up and
Yeah.
down and all over, and use, not a thing on a
Not a
pole.
thing.
Don't do this pole thing,
Do
and
the,
not dust it.
Yeah.
I'm talking really wash it.
Yes. Yes. Okay, for strength training, and I'm going to be going over exactly what all these moves look like.
You guys report to me when you're watching.
But you can do squats, lunges, dips, bicep curls, back rows, All of these things can be done outside of a gym with no equipment or with little inexpensive equipment. And we'll be doing a demo very shortly that you'll all be participating in, so I won't go over that. But again, strength training, very simple, effective, efficient, no need for any expensive equipment. Saving at the gym, for those of you who are considering a gym membership or maybe have one, here are some tidbits I want to share. The best time to join a gym is during the spring and summer months, between May and September. That's when a lot of gym membership usage goes down because people want to go outdoors or they're traveling on vacation. So you want to join a gym between spring and summer, and also join during the end of the month. Oftentimes sales counselors and membership counselors are looking to meet that month-end goal, and they might be able to cut you a bit of a deal. So, you know, call up May 30th or October 31st and see what kind of deals you can get. You can also look at a local gym and ask your gym of interest if they can match or beat the price. Ask for payments options. Maybe you can pay in full to lower your monthly rate, or look for student discounts or family discounts, or different ways that you can get your enrollment fee waived or your initiation fee waived. So there's always ways that you can save by just asking the questions and really being persistent. If you already have a gym membership, look at your contract. I'm sure those of you signed a contract and didn't really read the lengthy fine print, but oftentimes you're charged for things that you don't even use. Maybe there's a pool that you don't use, maybe there's towel service. You know, there are ways that you might be able to lower your rate by eliminating certain parts of your contract.
Julie,
Yes, Dan?
our city has its own gym available for free.
What?
Our city has its own gym available.
Who does?
The city of Colton.
The city of Colton?
They do?
Yeah, we have to use, all the
Great.
basic machines.
Good. And it's open to the public?
Yes.
Good to know. City of Colton has its own free gym. Good. Yes?
You know what, I've been in a lot of gyms before, and you get intimidated when you go to big gyms because everybody that goes there is already fit. So if you go to UCR, honestly, you already want to go home, so you work out quick. They teach you, Michelle's here, she
Yep.
teaches you combination exercises. I haven't seen any person go through a program and not hurt. So, I've been in the gym here a while. Every time, I want to go home. But if you go home, you're going to sit down, you're going to start cooking, you're going to forget all the stuff we talked about today. But if you work out before you go home, I've learned it's done, it's over with, and you can just pass out while you're cooking. So.
Thanks for mentioning that, and I did want to
I
recognize
think it's
that.
like $20 or something like that.
Is it, Michelle, like 22?
It's really cheap.
22 a month, and you can get that deducted out of your pay.
Some of the classes are free too. Some of them are. I think that might be.
All of our fitness classes are free. So if you don't like to, say, go in the weight room with all the males, or sometimes it gets really crowded in there, we have classes that start at 6:30 a.m. in the morning and they go till about 8 p.m. at night. We have everything from toning classes to cardio, BOSU, yoga, Pilates, and those are all free. So if you just want to go to classes every day, Monday through Friday, $22 a month is still really cheap. And you
Great
can go to
deal.
as many as you want.
I
So
always want to include that. Like yoga is expensive. But if
Yes.
you take yoga from a class, I'm telling you, I never would have took yoga before, but I took it once. And it's honestly the best thing I've
Yeah, definitely convenient, accessible, great classes, pretty much everything you want. The personal training I mentioned here, you can purchase bulk packages for personal training
our
at the rec
personal
center as
training
well.
sessions, if you buy in bulk, if you buy 20 sessions, they go down to $23 a piece, which is ridiculously cheap. So.
Is that an hour session or?
And you can do an hour, it's a full hour, and then we also do pairs training. So pairs training would be an additional $10 more, but you split it between two people. So a $35 session for one session is $35, but if you get pairs, it's $45 and you split it between two people. And then the bigger the package, the less the cost. So you can always do pairs training as well.
Good. Also check your health plans for all of you who have a health plan here at the university. Kaiser, Cigna, whatever it might be, they offer wellness discounts and resources, and you can go on our wellness website. We have a section called Wellness Resources and Discounts, and you can inquire and get really inexpensive rates to, I know Bally's and Gold's Gym are on the list. You can ask your health plan as well. And we also have, with Curves Gym, we have a negotiated discount with the 4 local Riverside Curves. So you can go on our wellness website to look for more information on that. Okay, now getting fit at home, for those of you who don't want to go to gym because it might be intimidating like you mentioned, or you don't have the time, or you have childcare issues, you can work out at home. You can easily turn your home into a gym. You can use soup cans as dumbbells. If you want to increase the weight, maybe those milk jugs, you can use those, just hold up milk jugs. Paper plates, you can stand on paper plates, just put them underneath your feet, and I don't want this thing, but like slide out, like the gliding discs. That way you add some resistance to your legs. You can use pantyhose as resistance bands. Just pick a pair of maybe torn pantyhose that you'll never wear again and use that as a band. There's ways that you can work out at home and still be very economical. Use your desk, your countertops to do push-ups. You don't have to go on the ground. Now, TV, I know, is a big deal for most of us, and if you don't have the DVR, the TiVo, and you have to sit through the commercials, why not do something during these commercials? For every 1 hour of TV you watch, there's about 15 minutes of commercial if you add up all the commercials, put it together. So if you watch about 2 hours of TV a night, which I'm sure a lot of us do, Dancing with the Stars, Biggest Loser, 2 hours, right? Peggy?
Yes.
Yes. You can get your 30 minutes right there if you just get up every commercial, do some squats, do some lunges, march in place, maybe jump rope during those 3 minutes of commercial, see how long you can go during the commercials, right, Sheila?
Yeah.
Do some push-ups, and all of that will add up. Also at your fingertips, you can use your computer and download workout plans, download free exercise trackers. There's a lot of things on the web that you can have access to for really inexpensive. Okay, now I want to show you the home gym. If you have some dollars that you can invest in, this is a great home gym here that you can purchase different pieces depending on what your preference is. There's tubings. These are like $4 or so that you can, and there's different resistance levels. So there's red is harder, yellow is easy, green's right in the middle, and you can do a lot of exercises with these tubings, and we'll be showing you shortly. We also have resistance bands or TheraBands that can be used in very similar ways to tubings. These are very great to travel with, and you can work pretty much every body part with this. Do you have one of these, Jane? Stability ball, these are fun. You can watch TV and sit on them. It really works your core, maybe at your desk, in the office.
I do.
You do? Okay, we have someone here that does. Dumbbells, you can buy a set of dumbbells, very inexpensive. And also a medicine ball, just added weight. This one's a state counter. You can start adding up. Not very expensive, probably less than $10. And a little balance disc. As you're maybe washing dishes or folding laundry, maybe you can practice standing on one of these. Works your core, engages your legs. Maybe go one leg at a time. So really, really inexpensive equipment that you can buy. You also want to consider a mirror so you can check your form, and find an area in your house, maybe a corner or bedroom garage, where you can do a little nice setup to make it attractive and fun. So again, great way to work out at home. For those of you who participate in sports, there's no need to buy expensive golf clubs or baseball mitts. You can go to Play It Again Sports. They have very inexpensive used equipment, and you can go there, shop online, get some very inexpensive things. Buy equipment and gadgets with minimal bells and whistles. There's no need to buy all the fancy fans and heart rate monitors that have all these different things that you can't even program or understand. Just keep it very, very simple, keep it basic, look for sales, and really take care of whatever gear it is that you're buying so you get more life out of it. Okay, and before we get to the interactive part, I just want to have a couple of recommendations here where you can squeeze in activity at work or at home. And I expect for those of you who are in my department to see some of these. Or as I go around campus. Conference calls. There's no need to sit during a conference call unless you really have to. stand up, put it on speaker, walk around, maybe do some push-ups against your desk. You know, no one can see what you're doing on the other end, right? Because you're on a conference call. What was that?
If you're in the office, everybody else is watching you when they walk by.
Close the door if you have one.
No doors.
You can do push-ups against your desk, and I'll have Erin come up and do some demos here, my intern. Push-ups against your desk is a great way to come up. So say this is your desk, you can just go ahead and lean back, put your hands on, keep your abs in, your body straight, the table's moving. Well, you get the picture, right? And then just do a couple of push-ups. Very simple. Good. You can also do dips from your chair. So if you want to, all of you give this a try, you just scoot forward a little bit. If you have wrist problems, don't do this. But all you need to do is scoot up and just bend your elbows, keeping your legs extended, and just go down. You don't have to go down that low. You can keep your legs bent or you can extend them out, but this really gets to the back of your arms. I know a lot of people say, well, what can I do for the back of my arms? You know, take a break from your computer and just do a couple of dips. When you're making copies, you can say after this. When you're making copies, a lot of times you hit the copy machine, you just stand there staring at it, or you hit the microwave button and you just stand there staring at the microwave. Why not do some calf raises? Just go up and down and work your calves. Maybe do some squats, some lunges. You know, do something during that time so it's not just downtime staring at the copy machine. Stretch in your chair every so often, and consider walking meetings. If you have to meet with someone, why sit and talk? Maybe grab a notepad, a pen, and just walk. That way you're walking, you're talking, you're getting your meeting done, you're getting your activity in. At home, we talked about commercials, sitting on the stability ball or a balance gadget, mopping the floor with your feet, you know, like what Wendy mentioned earlier, scrubbing your car as you're doing the car wash. Well, why not do the same thing with your floor? Get 2 wet rags, put them underneath you, and just start scrubbing away. You're really using that body, burning the extra calories, rather than just using a broom or a mop. Brushing your teeth. Again, if you're brushing your teeth, blow drying your hair, what can you do during that time? You can do some more squats, more lunges. You can do a squat and just hold it there and see how long you can go while you're brushing your teeth. You can do some calf raises again. You know, you can try balancing on one leg and putting your makeup on.
You might look bad later, Julie.
And then also have some fun. You know, maybe you have a set of dumbbells, and as you walk from room to room, do walking lunges. You can demo some walking lunges. So you're holding some dumbbells. You're going from the garage to your bedroom, or your bedroom to the bathroom. Hold dumbbells and walk. That way you'll get your lunges in and go from room to room. Thanks, Erin. So just a couple of ideas here that you can incorporate at home and at work. So here's the audience participation part, and I'm not going to force you to do it, but for those of you who want, we can do these exercises with or without equipment. So for those of you who want a band, Erin's going to go around and hand out some bands or the set of dumbbells so you can kind of see what these exercises look like. Now if you all want to stand up, we'll kind of take you through the motions of these different exercises so you can see what they look like. If anyone wants to come in the center, you're welcome to. There's more room. Spread out, don't hurt yourself. Watch out for the chairs behind you, Sheila.
No, you guys have to come with me if I'm going.
Okay. Now, all of these exercises I'm showing you today is available on our wellness website. We have an exercise routine booklet that has pictures and instructions of everything I'm showing you today plus more. And you'll notice the familiar faces in the book is myself and Michelle and Nicole Butterfield from Environment, Health, and Safety in your heels, okay? So you don't want your knees to go past your toes, and you want to keep your abs in, your chest lifted, and your shoulders back. And Erin, if you want to go around and maybe help correct some form.
I will. And one really good thing is if you're not sure about your form, or if you're having trouble doing a squat, a great thing is if you have a stability ball to put it behind your lower back and go against the wall. Or if you don't have one, you can just put your back against the wall, and that's going to help you to keep your form so that you make sure. Because if your knees go above your toes, you're going to run into knee issues. So you you want to be really careful with those.
Yeah, so when you're at the very bottom, all your weight is in your heels. You should be able to lift up your toes and wiggle it. It's almost like you're about to hover into a chair or over a toilet, maybe. That's kind of So you guys feel it in your legs? Okay, so you're working your quads, a little bit of your glutes, and your hamstrings. Now Erin's going to show you the lunge. I don't use this. Yeah. For the lunge, this is also for lower body as well, for your quads and your hamstrings and your glutes. And that's the second picture up there. You're basically stepping forward and you're lunging. Again, you want to keep your knee behind your toe. So the movement is just up and down versus forward and backwards. So step forward, lunge down, so your knee's at a 90-degree angle, and back up. And you don't have to go all the way down. Erin's young and fit here, so she's going all the way down. Good. And then you just switch sides. Okay. We'll move a little quicker just because we're running out of time. But for inner and outer thigh, you can do it standing up or lying down. You can just, for outer thigh, okay, it's the hip abductor, you can just stand and maybe hold on to something for balance and just bring it up to the side. And then you can switch sides. And for those of you that want to use the band, you can also put it underneath your legs, cross it over. This is really hard. And then just pull out. So you really feel it around your hip abductors. And you can even walk too, side to side.
Walk to the copier right.
Yeah, so you
Get that, Marilyn?
and then you can also do that with the TheraBands too. They're a little bit harder when you don't have the handles. But you're not
long
the same
enough,
thing. With the TheraBands, you can also tie them. You can sit down or stand up and tie them so that they're a circle, and then you can go in and out. Okay? And then you also have the ones lying down where you're on your side and you're just lifting up your legs. There's a lot of different ways to do that. Okay, back row. The movement for the back row, for those of you who have the band, or you can use dumbbells as well. So you're standing with your knees slightly bent. Your abs are in, your back is straight, and you're just rowing like you're rowing a boat. You're squeezing your shoulder blades, keeping your arms right against your side. So you're really, you can feel that with the band, don't you? And even if you don't,
It's short.
Sheila needs a dumbbell there. Good. And if you don't have any resistance, you can just squeeze your shoulder blades, just go through the motion.
I was gonna say, if you have like lower back problems, you can also sit and do it at the same time, where you
Yep. Yep.
wrap it around your knee,
Yeah, you can just sit down to avoid the straightening your lower back.
and then go over and under. Oh no,
Whoops.
I don't know how you do it.
I just go like this.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I do it where you go over and under.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and you can sit like that and do it.
And then just row back like you're on a row machine or a rowboat. Yeah. So that's a good way to work the upper back. And then bicep curl, real easy. Just arms against your side, curl up. Again, you can use 1 foot or 2 on the band. If it's too hard, just use 1. And just curl up. You can hold dumbbells, you can hold soup cans, anything to just curl and you work those biceps.
Good form, Jay.
Good form. And then for triceps, you all saw earlier the dip off the chair. Now that's a little bit hard on the wrist. There's another way you can do triceps. There's the kickbacks, or you can use a dumbbell, and you basically just do a tricep kickback. You can hold something like another soup can or a slight dumbbell, keeping your elbows really close to your side, and you're just squeezing right there. Just a quick tricep kickback, or with the band, you can hold it behind you, grab one of the ends of the band. It's easier if it's lower, more resistance if it's higher. Have your elbow close to your head and really just squeeze up, keeping your wrist straight. So you add a lot of resistance. And these are all exercises you can do as you travel with these bands, all really, really good things. Shoulders, military press. You can do the dumbbells where you just press up. Or if you want to get really advanced, you can hold one of these. Oh my goodness.
Don't break the band.
Don't break. Yeah, you want to be careful. And you can just push up. Probably easier with the dumbbells, but this adds a lot of resistance as you're going up and down. Yeah. And then finally, you know push-ups. We all know the push-ups, what that looks like. You guys can have a seat. Thanks for thanks for joining the fun demo. I know that was a quick one. Push-ups and then abdominals, curls, and lower back. All of these exercises, as I mentioned, are available. We have 2 copies here if anyone on the way out wants to grab it, you're welcome to, but these are available copies you can download to do the exercises. Okay. And that's our website, wellness.ucr.edu. You're welcome to visit the website and download the resources and look at all the information that was provided today. Before I end today's session, are there any last minute questions, comments, anything you want to share?
Really,
Yes, Dan.
I work with dumbbells, but I can't find good exercises for these.
Yeah. This booklet, all the exercises in this booklet can be done with no weight, with dumbbells, or with the bands. It's the exact same movement. So check this out, and if you actually have personal specific questions, feel free to come see me. And same with the rest of the group. If you have anything specific that you want to talk about, healthy eating, if you want one-on-one wellness coaching with me, exercise programs, get your body fat tested, your blood pressure checked, you're welcome to do so.
Another great thing with, if you guys don't have the money to buy the resources, if you have a partner and then you're kind of keeping each other accountable, is you can do manual resistance, and it's really good. It's something we do in the gym that I work at. So, you know, if they're doing a squat, have them looking at your form, and if it gets too easy, they can press on your shoulders as you're coming up, so you're feeling that resistance. Or when you're doing a bicep curl, they can put resistance against your arm. And so that's another really good way.
Thanks for sharing that. No equipment at all.
No equipment.
Okay, well, a lot of good stuff. Becky and Wendy, last 2 comments before we do the
I
wrap.
was just going to mention, in case the gym alternatives here on campus, I wanted to go to a gym that I could go to on the weekend and at night and stuff, but be close to home. So my friend just told me that he bought a 24-hour fitness gym membership at Costco.
Oh,
You
yes.
pay more, but in reality, once you pay initially, but then it's very, it's like 3 years, and then you're paying very little if you account the cost back out. And then once it's paid, you're going to be more motivated, it's paid for, to go, because it's not costing you every month. So he just told me about that.
Well, it might be the same deal, but I got my 24-hour fitness membership at Costco, and it was $299 for 2 years. So it came out to $12 a month.
See, that's what I mean, that's cheaper than
Very cheap.
most gym memberships. And
Yeah, very cheap. Becky?
Another way to get exercise, get a dog. We got last year 2 dogs from the animal shelter, and they make sure every day when I get home, you know, we go out on a walk.
Good idea, get a dog. Rescue a dog, okay? How about that? Good, okay, well, unfortunately, we're out of time, and we can keep going. I could extend the session for another hour and focus more on, you know, an hour on the healthy food and an hour on the workouts. And, you know, maybe we'll do a part 2 if you're interested in actually have you guys do the exercises, since that was a brief demo.
Price is bringing a healthy recipe.
What was that?
Part 2, make the price bringing a healthy
It's a
recipe.
good idea.
Yeah, okay. That sounds good. Well, I will have an email listserv of this particular group, and maybe we can chat and see what we want to do for next year. Maybe get back together and follow up. Now, we have a couple of prizes here. We have these bands, not prizes. We have 2 wellness goodie bags and 2 gift cards to Target. So I'm going to go ahead and have Marilyn choose our 4 lucky raffle winners. And you guys were a great group, very interactive. I was very pleased, and I hope it wasn't because of the raffles.
No.
Karen? Okay.
We just like to share jewels.
You guys just like to talk.
We just like to share.
66345.
Here.
All right, Becky, gift card to Target, yay! Now, oftentimes you're at a lecture and no one talks, people are just staring at you blankly. And
You're not comfortable like that.
you guys are wonderful. What was that?
You get more comfortable if you just
Get more comfortable. Okay, let's do the next one. The next Target gift card goes to lucky winner
29. Last numbers 29.
Dan, yay! 2 more goodie bags before we let you go, but I also want the evaluation forms back to you as well. Don't forget to do those. Your feedback's very important as we look at making enhancements and changes to our program. Okay, lucky winner for the first wellness goodie bag.
The last two numbers are 2-6.
2-6. Kim! Kim wins everything. Okay, and the very last, let me mix this up well, the very last wellness goodie bag will go to lucky winner number
60.
All right. Yay. Well, thank you so much, everyone, for your time. How was that?
Yeah, you can do that.
Oh, okay. Kim's giving up the prize, everyone. 2-2. Oh, Becky. Becky got 2 prizes.
Wow.
All right, everyone. Thank you so much for attending today's session. I hope it was valuable. I hope it was time well spent. And I want to say thank you so much. Yeah. Thank you, everyone.
You gotta see how far it is back to campus, and let you guys know for you to walk through. I don't know, my feet wasn't working the way out. No. Oh, it's a mile and a quarter.
That's a snack for once you're done.
For you like Heidi, you should walk onto campus, mile and a quarter.
Yeah.
Chick chill.
I gotta load all my stuff back in my pocket, plate.
Yes, yes. Thanks, Sheila.
I got caught up in a meeting before, so I couldn't.